Happy Sunday, beautiful patrons. It is a pleasure to be coming to you today, especially with a subject that is so near and dear to my heart. Overcoming negative thinking about the future, not expecting the worst. This is something that I definitely struggle with. Matter of fact, if you talk to the people within my closest circle, then they'll very quickly tell you that I can be one of the most negative people that you've ever met. I know that you don't see it. I know I don't share it with you, but that doesn't keep it from being true. So, how do we deal with it? Well, first off, let's establish a couple of very important facts. Number one, let's establish the fact right here and right now that as far as we're concerned, the future doesn't exist. I'm not getting into quantum mechanics here, but in real life, in day-to-day life, how we operate on a daily basis, the reality of it is the future doesn't exist. It just doesn't exist yet. Now, you may be like me. You may come from a place that we were taught and thus learned to expect that the future had a fixed outcome, that there was a destiny that we were being driven towards, and that there were certain fixed points of time and situations within the future that we had no control over, and that they were going to happen with or without us. The reality of it is the future just does not exist. And since it doesn't exist, then it really doesn't make sense to worry about it. Now, does it? So, in essence, what are we doing? Whenever we worry about a future that doesn't exist, particularly a negative outcome within a future that doesn't exist, what we are wasting that obviously does exist is the present. This present precious gift that we have called the here and now. And so we waste the present worrying about a future, a negative future that doesn't exist. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about any type of psychological disorder. I'm not talking about any type of medical condition that may be causing you to struggle with depression or may cause you to obsess in some way about a negative future. If that's the case, that's a total different ball game. Make sure that you give yourself the respect and love that you deserve by following through medically in order to try to take care of that situation. But as far as just the normal day in and day out worry about a negative future, that I think we can work with. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to apply the same logic and the same method of reason that we've applied to so many other things in our lives. We need to apply that to this negative future that we're obsessing about. Are we being reasonable whenever we're always expecting the other shoe to drop? Don't get me wrong. I know that it's easy to become once bitten, twice shy. And after you've had several painful negative experiences, then it's very easy to put up our guard. Maybe it's part of our evolutionary biology. Maybe we're protecting ourselves, if not just physically, emotionally, by being on guard about a possible negative future. But there's a part of us that's able to override that instinct. And let's use that part of us, that same part of you. When you roll over in the morning with the alarm clock screaming at you and every single fiber within your body says you don't want to get up, you shouldn't get up, and maybe even your imagination begins to come up with reasons why you don't have to get up. But yet you do. You override all those feelings. You override all of those thoughts. And there's a part of you that overrides and overcomes and gets you out of bed and moves you forward. I think we can do, most of us, most of the time, can do the same thing about our negative imaginations, particularly that about the future. So, what are we going to do? We're going to apply logic and reason. My best example for this is the negative feelings that I possess about flying. How have I been able to fly so many times in the last 3 years when my nature causes me to have negative feelings about it and to envision the worst possible scenarios? Well, I apply logic and reason. I know the statistics. I study the statistics. I read everything that I can read that strengthens my more reasonable approach and understanding to the subject so that my emotions don't carry me away, and so that my emotions don't force me to act in ways that are unreasonable. And if we agree that wasting this precious present moment is unreasonable, then this situation deserves this type of intellectual energy. On top of that, what we know that we're able to do, we're able to replay these images over and over in our minds. The negative images that we've created, we can relive them and replay them numerous times obsessively. Well, then why don't we replay the positive experiences? Instead of sitting around with a sense of doom or a sense of dread that the other shoe is going to drop, let's replay situations in our lives that did work out well, where the other shoe didn't drop, where things went well. Maybe things even went better than we expected them to. So we can replay this. So we use logic, we use reason, and we replay the positive experiences of our lives. What this does in essence is it adds legs of support to this table of positivity. Every time that we replay a positive experience, every time that we add another statistical fact to the good news that really does exist in our lives, we're strengthening the foundation of that particular positive outlook. We're adding legs of support to this tabletop that we then can rest a positive appreciation for the future upon. Last but not least, we need to put things into perspective. It's easy to feel like we're the center of the world. It's easy to feel like that we're the main character, not just of our movie, but of the entire movie, and that we're heading towards a dark and dreadful scene within the narrative of our lives. But when we put things into perspective, when we back way back, and we see just how small we are on this little bitty pale blue dot, in this one little bitty corner of this one solar system in this one galaxy out of countless galaxies, it begins to put things into perspective. Excuse me. I'm still getting over the flu. It begins to put into perspective the reality that things do go well the majority of the time, or life actually would not exist for us. We can put it in perspective that the things that we're worrying about more than likely are not areas of national security. More than likely they're not involved in public safety. More than likely they're not areas of life or death. The weight of the world doesn't always sit upon our shoulders. But when we allow our emotions to get the best of us, that's exactly how we feel. We feel as if it is the weight of the world on our shoulders, and that there is this impending doom that is always right before us. But we can use logic and reason and think our way out of this corner. We can replay and use the power of our imagination and our memories to build up emotional support in a very positive way. And we can put things in perspective. Yes, it's our one life that we live, and yes, the story and the narrative gets away from us so many times. I know that it gets away from me more times than I could count. But we have the ability to override all of those other mechanisms. We have the ability. Give yourself just a moment of relief. Give yourself a break for just a second, this very second. Step back and remember everything that you've gone through. Step back and remember the many areas that you truly have overcome in. Think of the impossible feats that you have accomplished already in your life. Things that you never thought that you'd be able to do. Maybe things that other people around you have not been able to do. Replay those events. Encourage yourself. Be your biggest fan. Be the president of your own support group. Be the president of your own fan club. Whatever you do, be you and be brave.